Hey, Brad, what's that?
What's what?
That thing right in front of you, man.
Oh, you mean the script that's telling me to remind our listeners to subscribe to Geeklirious on iTunes or any platform of their choice?
Yeah, but wasn't there more?
Alright, let me take a look. Hey, there's a part where I tell the listeners to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter using our handle @Geeklirious.
Yeah, that's the best line I ever wrote.
Oh, crap. I deleted it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 23 of Geeklirious.
Welcome. Come on.
My name is Brian, along with my co-host.
Trusty co-host, Mike.
So, how have you been doing?
Been a hectic week, but it's been also really good, too.
That's good. You've been geeking into anything in particular?
Just the usual stuff. Just trying to play Ni no Kuni 2, that game I got the other day. Trying to make some headway in that, but that's pretty much it. What about you?
Actually, I did want to talk about this new show. Me and the fiance were browsing around, the streaming sites, and we came across the show called The Good Doctor, and I'd heard good things about it, but I decided to check it out. And it's essentially about this kid. Oh, he's not really a kid. He's, 20s or so.
He's already a good doctor?
And he's autistic.
Oh.
But the thing is, he's high functioning autistic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he, went to medical school, became a doctor, and he actually got hired at this hospital to become a surgeon. And it pretty much focuses on the trials and tribulations of how his other colleagues look at him because they don't think that he has what it takes to become a surgeon, because no matter how good he is in the medical field, it doesn't necessarily work for him when he's talking to patients, because he doesn't have that good bedside manner.
Okay.
So, but the show is honestly really good. We
Sounds
watched
like that movie Patch Adams. Remember that with Robin Williams?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Great movie.
Yeah?
It's a tearjerker.
I never actually saw it, but I saw the Nostalgia Critic review.
You haven't seen Patch Adams?
I saw the
one of these days, get around to it do it for Robin Williams.
One of these days, we should do a top 10 Robin Williams movies. That would be a great episode.
That would be.
But anyway, so The Good Doctor, it's got Freddie Highmore in it. You might remember him. He played Norman Bates in Bates Motel. He was in the Spider-Man.
Is that still going?
Bates Motel ended, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was a fantastic show, and he did such a good job really capturing the mannerisms of Anthony Perkins, who played the original Norman Bates in the Alfred Hitchcock classic Psycho.
Yeah. I didn't see much of that show, but he looked like he fit the role.
He did a great job. People have done these comparisons, back to back of Anthony Perkins and Freddie Highmore, and the mannerisms are uncanny. He did such a good job. He must have studied those tapes, just every little mannerism that Anthony Perkins did.
Every little, yeah.
But he was also in August Rush, and he was in the Spiderwick Chronicles, and anyway, he really gives an incredible performance. And I even though I'm only a couple episodes into it, if it stays nearly as good as it currently is, I can see it really becoming a favorite show of mine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many seasons is it?
I think it's just one.
Okay.
It just started.
And what's it on?
I've been watching it on Netflix.
Okay.
But it is a ABC show.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely worth the watch. I would it legitimately made me emotional. And that doesn't happen. Usually it takes a really strong movie to make me emotional.
For you to find your soul somewhere
in
the closet.
Yeah, I'm a pretty dark MFer, so no, unless you're Toy Story 3, movies don't normally get to me like that.
Yeah.
It seems to be Pixar films. Coco was the last movie that made me tear up a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that movie was good too. But
I still need to see that.
Coco?
Yeah.
Oh, I should lend you that too, along with Last Jedi.
Along with everything.
So yeah, we got a little bit of geeky news for us.
Yeah. What do we got?
Yeah, let me start it off. So the rumor is that our good pal, good friend, I like to think we're friends, Woody Harrelson is going to be playing Carnage.
Yeah.
Now that is a bit of an odd casting decision, but he's a great actor.
You think so?
He's a fantastic actor. I just never thought of him as Carnage.
I feel like it's almost like perfect just because of like his you've seen like Natural Born Killers and like his dad being a serial killer. Like I'm sure he in that frame of mind, like he can get in that Carnage frame of mind. Cletus Cassidy, he could. That would be pretty cool. I'm super down for that, if that happens. Although I'm not down for the Venom movie, so.
Yeah, we'll see. That trailer really sucked, to put it,
It wasn't even a trailer.
It was pretty blunt. It was
like
really
nothing.
weird.
It was just so bad.
But no, Venom, I really hope it's good, but as far as Carnage goes, the last two things I've seen Woody Harrelson in were True Detective Season 1, and then I went, after the Oscars, I went to go see Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, and that movie was phenomenal.
What is it?
It won like a ton of awards at the Oscars. It's called Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Really?
It's essentially about a woman whose daughter is raped and killed, and the police force isn't really doing much about it, so she rents 3 billboards out that pretty much call out the police on their BS, and Woody Harrelson plays the I think he's the chief of the police force.
Oh, okay.
And he an incredible role in that, and he was excellent in True Detective.
That sounds
as
good.
well.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't think so. I rented it off Redbox for $1, so totally worth it.
Yeah,
Redbox is great.
Check that out. Yeah. Woody Harrelson's just an immense talent.
He really is. I've been sleeping on him for all these years.
Really?
Yeah. I always knew he was good, but between True Detective and 3 Billboards, I am a huge Woody Harrelson fan, and I would definitely put him up there as one of my favorite actors of all time.
I've loved him since. Well, I grew up watching Cheers and stuff and seeing him in that. And, just loving all his movies from, Kingpin. You've seen Kingpin, right? The comedy?
The bowling movie. Yeah, I have.
It's just terrific.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I've always loved Woody Harrelson. He was great in, what was it, the last Planet of the Apes movie?
I haven't seen any of those.
Really good.
Everyone always tells me they're great.
You haven't seen any of them?
No.
Oh, wow.
I saw the originals, and I saw the remake, the really terrible one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about that one.
Freaking Abraham Lincoln as the monkey. What was it? Anyway, what have you got this week?
Well, speaking of Carnage and Spider-Man stuff, segue, Spider-Man, the PlayStation exclusive, just got dated, finally, for September 7th of this year. Everybody, check it out. I can't wait. I'm super excited. Have you been paying attention to the Spider-Man game?
Honestly, I saw the trailer when it premiered at E3.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, that looks really good. But I have not seen anything from it since.
Yeah. They've showed clips here and there. They've showed gameplay and stuff. And it just looks like the Spider-Man game.
Yeah. I really hope
we've wanted.
Yeah, I really hope that this game is on par with the Batman Arkham series. That would be fantastic.
I think it's going to be better than that. Well, maybe for me, just because I don't like Batman and I love Spider-Man, so obviously it might be better in that way for me. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be different enough from that because you're going to be swinging around the city and you're going to be, it's not a dark Batman game, and you don't have to drive a stupid Batmobile for the whole freaking game.
That was only one of the games. Come on, don't throw all the Batman games under the bus because of one misstep.
No, I do like the Batman games as well. I haven't played all of them, but I do like
Arkham City.
Even the
was
last
the best one. Arkham City was the best one.
Yeah, that's why does everyone say that?
It just is. Just the storyline is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Joker, where he's like sick and he poisons Batman. There's like a good twist with Clayface, and it's really good.
Anyways, Spider-Man, September 7th. We'll probably be talking about that more when we get more information, but I'm super happy it's coming out this year, because a lot of people were saying, no, it's definitely, that's next year. That's 2019, not 2018, and, well, I'm happy.
Yeah. So...
What else you got?
Keeping up with the Marvel news. We got a lot of Marvel news this week. So it's...
Sorry, you DC fans or whatever. If you guys hate Marvel, then sorry. Although, how could you?
Yeah, Marvel's been on a tear lately. And speaking of which, so Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel movies. Honestly, I rewatched it a couple times after I saw it, and it just grew on me over time. It's so good. And apparently, it's all been but confirmed that Baron Mordo will be stepping into the main villain role of Doctor Strange 2. And I have a quote here from the creators that reads, "For those of you who have ever read the comics, you know that Baron Mordo has a very particular arc, and that's something we discussed with Chiwetel. That's Chiwetel Ejiofor, while working on the first movie. And part of the reason we wanted him to play Mordo was because he has a definitive ending as a character, and it's such a fascinating ending. And I do not know that whether we're attached or not, that Marvel plans on working towards that ending and fully realizing Mordo as more than just a cardboard cutout villain, but actually taking him to kind of Loki levels of awesomeness. And that's the goal with him." That's sick.
Yeah.
The fact that they want Mordo to be on the level of Loki, that's insane.
He totally could be.
And he could be.
Absolutely.
And I want to see that. Because he's such an... Chiwetel Ejiofor is such a fantastic actor. Yeah. And he could do wonders with
Well, I mean, they set it up already in the first one.
Yes,
he's fantastic. Everyone knows I love him from when he was in Serenity, the Firefly.
Yeah,
movie.
he was the cool assassin.
He was so cool in that, and I've loved him ever since, and I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, so am I.
I thought it was going to be a different character. I thought it was going to be like Mephisto or something like that, because I would really totally like to see him. Maybe he'll show up in a Ghost Rider movie at some point. Yeah. But, I like all the hell, characters, they got the Satan wannabes, like, they're all cool.
Yeah. I love those guys.
Mordo, yeah, really cool.
Absolutely.
Right?
What was next?
What was next, actually? It was Black Panther, right?
Yes. Breaking records.
Yeah, now it just surpassed Jurassic World.
Yeah.
For a spot in the top 10 grossing movies.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for them.
I think we talked about how it was... Well, when did we talk about it? We talked about it when it was, like, surpassing...
It was Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah, Last Jedi.
And we were thinking maybe it doesn't look like it's stopping, and it clearly hasn't, because now it's solidified as, like... What a huge movie.
Awesome.
And
incredible.
A great movie, too. So,
I can't say enough good things about that movie. I want to go see it again.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm dying to go see it again.
Yeah, I saw it twice in the theater. You get to see, like, a bunch of different things in the second watch. That's a little nice. Like, a lot of more of the action that you don't necessarily get to focus on the first time. Really good. But, yeah, good on Marvel, and good on Black Panther, and congrats to them.
Does Marvel have a lot of spots in the top 10? I feel like they do, right?
Avengers
is on there. What, the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And isn't Guardians, the first Guardians, on there as well?
It might be. That's awesome. I feel like when Infinity War comes out, that's probably going to break some records, too.
I guarantee that's going to be the top.
Of all time?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the top one right now, isn't that Avatar? We're talking Pandora, not the Airbender.
No, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I believe that's still the top.
Yeah.
I think this could have a chance.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, we will see.
I just think because...
I don't think it's going to beat out Avatar.
Really? You don't think so?
Nah, I don't think so.
If it doesn't, like... I liked Avatar fine, but like...
Because the thing is that most people saw Avatar in 3D.
Multiple times.
Its numbers are inflated.
Yeah. But I feel like that... For Infinity War, it'll be like the same. Like, I feel like... Because I know I'm going to go see it a bunch of times. And I know a lot of people that are going to do the same. But, yeah. I can't see it not surpassing Avatar.
All right, we will.
Or at least Black Panther.
I will say it's probably going to surpass Black Panther, as long as it's generally regarded as a good movie and it doesn't get bad reviews, which I don't think it will. But
no.
Provided it's getting good reviews, I think it will pass Black Panther. I just don't think that it's going to touch. I think it's Titanic and Avatar are the top two.
Is it? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah,
both James Cameron films too, which that's crazy.
Yeah, Prince money.
Anyway, so you want to move on to our topic for this evening?
Yeah.
So after watching The Good Doctor, I was like, man, I wish that someone had referred this to me earlier because this is a great show.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what are some other shows that I would recommend? And there we have it. That is our topic for this evening. Mike and I are going to break down some shows that you should be watching, that you need to be watching.
Or that you should have watched. I think most of these most people have seen.
Yes, but if you haven't, shame on you, and please go watch them.
Correct that if you haven't seen them.
All right, since I started off the news, Mike, why don't you go first? Let's. You want to open us up?
Absolutely. Let me check my handy dandy notebook.
He just got a letter. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Are we doing order or no? Are we just...
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right, cool.
Just because I think, I think it's a great show, but I really feel like people do not give it a chance just because the first season's not a good representative of the show. I admit that, but in the second season and onward, it just keeps getting better and better and better, and the characters, they find their momentum, and they're not having to deal with characters that are just like runoffs from the movies and stuff. They're actually getting, they have a whole story arc with Ghost Rider and the Inhumans and all that stuff, and it's just probably it's catered, but I feel like it's designed specifically for me because I'm such a fan of that sort of stuff. But yeah, just really good. I don't think people give it a chance. Yeah, just for the first season. I admit it's not a great season, but I think if you can stick past that, some really good entertainment.
Yeah, I think I fell into that first season slump.
Because you didn't see anything after, right?
Yeah, no, I think I just watched the first season.
Yeah. I watched the first season and I stopped for a while. I was like, I can't do it. It's okay, but I'm not really feeling it. But then, yeah, the second season from there on, it just, they have these twists in it that really interesting. How they work with the characters and stuff. I enjoyed it. What about you?
All right. So I'm going to start things off with a show that I feel like people might be aware of, but probably haven't watched because it's not like the most popular show. But Black Sails on Stars is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
If you're a fan of like Pirates of the Caribbean or even like Game of Thrones, there are definitely elements of those genres in the show. And essentially I'll give you a quick rundown of what the show is about. It's essentially a prequel to the novel Treasure Island. So you have a lot of characters from like pirate lore in the show. Like, John Silver is one of the main characters. You have Captain Flint, and there's tons of famous pirates and, people from...
You see Blackbeard, don't you?
You have to just watch it.
Because I only saw the first season, I think. So I'm guessing off that, but I could have sworn I remember hearing about him at least.
There was a gag in the first season about Blackbeard.
Okay, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what you might be thinking of. But
Probably.
just watch the show. But lots of really good twists and turns, and the characters are very dynamic. They do a great job of really putting like these characters in depth and fleshing them out.
How many seasons does that have?
I think 4.
Okay.
I think it ended. So
it did, right?
Yeah.
But like they actually ended it, not it was just canceled.
Yeah, they ended it.
Okay.
Cool. But yeah, no, if you have not given it a try, I would most definitely recommend Black Sails.
It interests me that it ended, so I can just that piques my interest. I can just breeze through it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not have to worry about next season or whatever.
But if you want to watch it, it's available on Hulu. That's where I watched it. Or if you have Stars, it's a Stars original. So
I think wasn't it on Amazon Prime?
Might be. I'm not sure. I watched it on Hulu, and I know it's Stars.
It I don't know. Actually, no. I probably just watched it on Stars because I have Stars.
Then there you go.
I'm special.
You're special, right?
Okay. Next, I'm gonna go with X-Files. Everyone knows X-Files.
Classic. Fox and Mulder.
What can be said about X-Files? I think everyone knows it. People know the song, the theme song. They know Mulder. They know Scully. But do they know the Smoking Man? Like, he's dope. Do they know, like, all the cool stuff? Like, it really had, like, they had the Monster of the Week sort of, stuff. Like, you'd get, like, one-off episodes. But it had a really cool, I don't know. If you like aliens, X-Files.
Who doesn't like aliens? Aliens are great.
But they also had, like, cool, that guy can, like, he stretches and stuff, right?
They had a ton of cool characters.
Like, like, he can, like, go through, like, little small vents and he's, like, taking people's organs and stuff. It was really dope. Yeah, X-Files. Everyone loves X-Files. You should watch X-Files.
They just brought it back, too.
They did. Yeah. I haven't seen any of that. I'm kind of like...
My dad watched it. He said it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. My dad's a huge fan of the X-Files. I really want to go back and watch all of it from the beginning so I can... because it's one of those shows that you really don't need to watch, like, every episode, because you said it's very Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
So you can kind of watch an episode here or there and get the gist of it. But it's definitely one of those shows with, like, these overarching plot lines.
Yeah.
That you definitely want to watch from beginning to end.
I would say watch it up until David Duchovny leaves the show. I think that's like season 6 or something like that. I would say, even though I like the seasons afterwards, I liked, I'm forgetting the guy's name,
The Smoking Man?
No, it was the guy that replaced Mulder,
See, I didn't even know he got replaced.
The guy from Terminator, T2?
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
I know his name, but it lost me. He has a great cameo in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's that guy, and, he's great. I even liked him. And they kind of bring Duchovny back, sort of. But, yeah, really good.
Fox
X-Files.
Mulder.
Yeah, like, the relationship that they had. I mean, people don't give X-Files enough credit.
I just like saying his name. Fox Mulder.
Fox Mulder. And who doesn't like Gillian Anderson? She's great.
She's great. I like me some redheads. Yes. We want the redhead. Alright. So, next up for me, I'm gonna go with Dollhouse. So, many people...
Quality.
It is a great show. So, many people know, Joss Whedon from his work on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Avengers movies, a little show named Firefly. I'm sure that's coming up later.
Foreshadowing.
And Dollhouse, essentially, it stars, Erica.
No,
no.
Eliza
Dushku. Not Erica. Elijah Dushku. And she pretty much sells her soul to this underground, like, laboratory company that pretty much...
She does not sell her... Well,
pretty much. She sells her body.
Yeah.
They take her mind out. They plop, they plop her mind with other people's memories, and essentially you have
it's such a weird show.
It really is. It's super
weird. But it's
weird.
so good. Like, the action is really well done.
There's a lot of twists and turns. Like, a lot of things you didn't see coming. But
I liked how she could, like, one day she's like, riding a motorcycle with, like, expertise, and then she's doing, like, kung fu because they put, like, different memories of, like, stuff she can do. So she can, like, learn everything in an instant and stuff. Really cool.
It is super cool. I feel like I didn't do a good job of explaining how cool this show is. Like,
it's a hard one, though.
It really is. It's super sci-fi. If you guys watched...
That got 2 seasons, right?
Yeah, I got 2 seasons. And they're both good, honestly.
They are really, they are both good. If you like badass chicks, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely a very female-heavy show.
And if you like Joss Whedon, there you go. Like, that's another one of his shows that don't get much love.
It doesn't, but it is phenomenal. And unlike Firefly, I feel like it really got a proper send-off. They did a really good job of kind of coming around full circle and, fleshing out the characters a bit more. And yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I believe it's still on Netflix. I really hope it is. If it's not, go find it somewhere.
Actually, I think they recently took it down.
Oh, that's sad.
Possibly, but they'll bring it back up eventually. But yeah, any way of watching that, it's definitely recommended by both of us.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm gonna stay on that train and say Firefly.
Absolutely.
I wasn't gonna add it necessarily because the way it ended or the way it didn't end.
Yeah.
Almost was hesitant to not put it on there, but I really feel like I wouldn't be a true brown coat if I didn't mention Firefly. It's a space western, which is weird because there's not much of that. And, the characters are just so really cool.
I honestly think that's one of the, best parts of that show.
Yeah.
It's all the different characters and how they really all work together and play off each other.
Well, that's what Joss Whedon does best. Yeah. Like, even with Avengers and
oh my God, yeah.
all that other stuff. Like, he just knows how to do, even when he was doing Astonishing X-Men, like, the way he has his dialogue, how he writes, I wouldn't say it's super realistic, but you don't necessarily want realistic in your writing all the time. You want fun and interesting and
it's
smart.
It's a very fun show.
Yeah, it's way smarter than people give it credit for. I mean, looking back now, if you're watching it now, as opposed to the effects, they still look pretty good, but that might be a little dated as far as that goes. But if you don't know the story, I guess it takes place in the future, obviously, in space, where the Earth has combined, the Chinese government and the American government. They pretty much, those were the languages got passed on and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, curse in Chinese and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was so confused about that when I first started watching the show. They would just go off and they just go off on a Chinese tangent. I'm like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, they'll curse in Chinese, and it's really clever because they say it without saying it.
Yeah.
Super
cool.
A lot of good actors from that. Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah. Who else is in that? Alan Tudyk. Gina Davis.
No, not Gina Davis.
Not Gina Davis?
That's Beetlejuice.
Gina something though, right?
Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of great people. Actually, I've been reading the comic now. I completed the collection of books, so I'm reading those. So those are really good. But, yeah, and then they actually kind of finished the story where the show didn't, which is also really good.
Yeah, and I think we should also mention Serenity, the movie that...
Yes, Serenity, the movie.
Does a pretty good job of, like, an ending without really being an ending. It ties up some loose ends, and... It's
definitely, like, it was, like, the rushed season 2, pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
I think there's the show, then the comics take place after the show, and then I think the movie takes place after the comics. That was like the last thing, because he wanted to finish the story to some degree. But it's unfortunate that more people don't watch Firefly. I think most people know about it, right? But
yeah,
if you haven't seen it,
it's a cult classic.
Watch it, and it's only like. They only had like 13 episodes.
Yeah, it's like 11, 12, 13
yeah,
episodes.
It's just above the double digits in episodes. Yeah. So please watch it. You'll become a
think of it as like a mini series, you know? Don't think of it as a show that got canceled.
And then you'll be sad that there's not more of it. Yeah. But then you can watch the movie.
Read the comics.
And then, read Days Gone By or whatever the comic. I forget what the comic is called. But yeah, Firefly. What's next?
All right, next up on my list is Doctor Who.
Your love Doctor
I do. Who. I love Doctor Who. If you are a science fiction fan, aficionado, a lover, a fighter, no. If you like science fiction, you literally cannot dislike Doctor Who.
Now, when you say Doctor Who, because Doctor Who's been going on for about 100 years... Where do you tell people to start Doctor Who?
That's really
Peter Capaldi.
That's really difficult. Peter Capaldi, no. That's the newest Doctor.
No,
yeah.
No, not Peter. Purple Man.
No, even before him.
Even before him. Okay.
Yes, Christopher Eccleston is the. So essentially, the way Doctor Who works is that it's broken up into. The 1960s through the 1990s, and then 2005 and on. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the show got, I wouldn't say it was canceled, but they stopped production on it. It went on a long hiatus, and it came back with a new showrunner and new actors. Essentially, if you haven't seen Doctor Who, it's about a time-traveling alien. He is known as a Time Lord, and he is essentially the protector of Earth. Mm-hmm. And it's very cool. Some of the episodes are very Monster of the Week. Then you also have these long, 4, 5, 6 long episode arcs. And it's hard to start from the beginning, from the 1960s, because unfortunately, back then, they used to...
Is that stuff available, though?
Some of it is, some of it isn't.
Okay.
As the show gets... Like, a lot of the earlier episodes are, like, damn near impossible to find, because they just don't exist anymore. Mm. They were... The BBC was trying to save money, so they used old Doctor Who tapes and taped them over with other shows and stuff. So we don't have access to those. So that's why it's hard to start. But I would say for a current fan, who wants to watch something a little bit more, updated, I would start from 2005, the first episode called Rose. And that stars Christopher Eccleston as the 9th Doctor. And pretty much from on... it's fantastic. You have Christopher Eccleston, then fan favorite David Tennant plays the 10th Doctor. I think I should have mentioned...
I hate Doctor Who, but David Tennant just...
You have to watch Doctor Who, if you haven't watched it. You can't hate something you haven't watched.
Just these British people with their humor, they're smart... Hurts my brain. My brain feels weird.
But yeah, no. Essentially, what's cool about the Doctor is that once he dies, he actually regenerates. He keeps the memories of his past self, but he new body and new personality.
He just dies in different ways most of the time.
Yeah,
he ain't dying of old age.
He'll get shot.
Okay.
He'll fall, or in the 9th Doctor's case, not to spoil anything, but obviously he dies at some point because there's 4 more Doctors after him, but he gets kind of overloaded with like time energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So they die in different ways, but that it's a cool way to keep the show going, and it keeps it fresh, because every, couple seasons you get a new Doctor, and, you hate him at first, or her in the new Doctor's case, but then you learn to love them. And honestly, the monsters or the aliens or whatever, every week, every episode, there's a new creative monster or alien, like I said, and it's honestly, it's worth the watch, and it really gets you emotional, and I can't recommend Doctor Who highly enough. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Everyone seems to love it. I can't say one way or the other, because I haven't given it a shot. One of these days, Brian will have to lock me up in a room and just have it
That
on.
day's coming real soon, Mike. It's actually today. Click. 5 padlocks activate. Yeah. Marathon time. Anyway,
yeah, that's cool. I definitely wanna one of these days. I will give it a go.
You have
the
to.
Old college.
If you like science fiction, you will most likely like Doctor Who.
Yeah, and I love science fiction, even though I don't like Star Wars and Star Trek. Yeah. Now, what did I have? I had a few things that I couldn't decide.
I know there's so many good shows. It's hard to pick only a couple.
I'm gonna go with the show Monk with Tony Shalhoub.
Yes.
On USA Network back in the day. I think it ended a few years ago. Probably a while now, but
seems like
at least 5 years ago it ended. But it was long running. I think it lasted for at least 10 seasons. So
wow, that is a long time.
It was maybe 10 seasons. Long running show, and just, man, I loved every minute of that show. Really funny. Tony Shalhoub. I wasn't really aware of him as an actor. I saw him in Men in Black when he was the alien that got his head shot off. And goes back and stuff. He's been in other things too. What was that? The Siege with Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Those are the only movies
I'm going to just say because I have no idea what you're talking about.
You didn't see that movie?
Probably not.
You don't watch movies.
I do watch movies. There's a lot of movies. It's hard to watch all of them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a comedy. He has, I guess, what would you call it? OCD?
Yeah. Extreme OCD.
Extreme OCD, where he's a germaphobe. Everything has to be all that sort of stuff.
Ordered a certain way.
Yeah, everything in his order. And it's funny because there's another guy in the show, his arch nemesis guy. He's a super OCD too, but in a different, he'll order it in a different way and stuff. And they go to the same therapist, so the stuff that he's arranging in his office, the other guy moves it differently. There's a lot of cool stuff.
So what is he? He's a detective?
He helps cases. He helps detectives.
Is he a police officer, or is he just
he was a detective. He was a super huge detective.
Oh, didn't his wife die, right?
Yeah, his wife got murdered in a car bomb or something like that.
Did they ever find the killer in the show?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sort of. It's deeper than that, yeah, but...
Because I was watching it a while back, and I was like, oh man, when are they going to find this guy's killer, or the wife's killer, and...
Yeah.
It didn't happen in the time I was watching, so...
No, that happens, and they do it really well. It was, just a really funny show, but, they had the guy that from, what was that guy? The detective, he was from Silence of the Lambs. He was the Buffalo Bill guy.
Oh, Buffalo Bill?
Yeah.
Oh,
he plays the detective.
I don't know the actor's name, but...
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name, but he's great, and he's hilarious in the show. He's even though he plays a psychotic, crazy person in Silence of the Lambs, but he's just super cool detective guy, and he's the chief detective. And, he hires Monk, and they go on all sorts of cases, but, all funny stuff, because, he can't be around germs, and, he does, things differently, how he investigates case. Really funny show. I think people don't give it enough credit. I really don't. No one talks about Monk. They should.
I talk about Monk.
No, you don't.
I don't. I really don't.
What Doctor Who? Not Monk.
Doctor Who's great. It's the perfect match of drama and comedy. You don't even know. Anyway,
yeah. What do you got? Go watch Monk. Everyone loves Monk.
We're gonna go back in time.
Yes, before Monk.
Before Monk. Before most of these shows. I'm gonna go to the Twilight Zone. One of the most classic, iconic TV shows of all time. Mm-hmm. You know, Rod Serling as the narrator. Yeah. Incredible, you know, just such a classic. For those of you who don't know what the Twilight Zone is, I'm sure you've heard of it.
Everyone knows.
It's essentially a show where every single episode is a different story. And there's different actors.
A la Black Mirror. And
yes,
stuff like that.
Definitely, you know, was the inspiration for a ton of shows, including Black Mirror and Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Even stuff that's not even, like, referencing it, like, storytelling-wise, like...
Oh, yeah. I think like, Family Guy's definitely made references to it before.
Like, just style-wise and how the stories were told and all that stuff, just... unbelievable.
Yeah, real, inspirational and a real game changer of a show. I feel like after, 100%.
Long running too.
Oh, super long running. And, you know, there's been multiple iterations.
And movies.
And, anyway.
Are they bringing that back?
What, Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope so. That'd be cool. I mean, they kind of have Black Mirror, which is kind of like the, you know, modern day Twilight Zone.
Yeah, but I want to hear the ding 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 doo doo. You know, like
no, yeah, that's great.
Really cool. What's your favorite Twilight Zone episode?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I mean, obviously the most iconic one is. Oh man, who's the guy from Star Trek?
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god, why can't I remember his name? Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart.
Your fart
that's Siri, don't worry.
To me.
Who played Captain Kirk on Star Trek?
I'm not allowed to worry.
That didn't help me. Hold on.
William Shatner.
Shatner, thank you. God damn you, Siri, you didn't help me at all.
He's like, you're on your own.
You're on your own, buddy.
Oh man, I can't believe we forgot that. But yeah, William
Shatner, the Gremlins episode with the plane. That's such a fantastic episode.
And then they redid that.
They redid that for the movie. Yeah. Also the one, the street peddler played by the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Ed something, I forget his name. But, he was in Mary Poppins and he played the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. And he plays like a street peddler and he makes a deal with death. Like the Grim Reaper, and it's such a great episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there are so many good ones.
The guy who breaks he's the last guy on Earth, and he breaks his reading glasses, and he can't read all the books.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one.
So many good ones.
That's a super famous one.
Yeah.
The cookbook one.
Which one's that?
The cookbook. With the aliens, they come to Earth.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, that's a good one.
So good.
The one with the zoo episode where like the twist at the end is that they're in like an alien zoo.
Yeah,
you ever see that one?
Yeah,
oh, dude,
yeah, that one, and also what's the other famous one with they take their the nurses and their like pig faces.
Oh my god, yeah,
she has the normal face.
That freaked me out as a kid. So
crazy.
Yeah, if
there's
you
something to say about black and white too. That just ups the terror.
It does.
Tenfold.
Right?
For me, at least. Well, we grew up, like, watching that stuff late at night, you know, black and white. Like, kids don't have that.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Nowadays, kids don't even want to watch black and white. They see black and white and they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
That's a shame. Well, like, I'm glad we're making this list for, you know, if you're a millennial or something, give Twilight Zone a watch.
Yeah.
There's some super cool stuff in that.
And don't be afraid of black and white movies and TV shows, you know?
A lot of it sucks, too. But Twilight Zone, watch that. And Clerks.
And Clerks.
Black and
white. 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, okay.
12 Angry Men is a freaking classic.
Boring.
What? No, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Don't talk bad.
It's a good movie. I like it, but I don't know. I could see how a younger generation just over the head.
Yeah,
completely.
Absolutely.
Just
the original Psychos in black and white.
I was on Instagram for this whole movie, or
dude,
I read how many Snapchat stories during that.
half of Alfred Hitchcock's. Actually, I think all of Alfred Hitchcock's like freaking filmography is in black and white.
Did he ever make anything that was color?
I don't know. Maybe like in his late, like, was Vertigo in color?
If anyone knows people that are smarter than us, which you guys are definitely out there, let us.
It's not very hard to be smarter than us.
Yeah. Well, you've listened to the episode,
It's like William Shatner. No. Anyway, what's the next one on your list?
What is my final one?
We're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Silicon Valley. My, how I love
TJ Miller.
Formerly, now he's off the show. I think, this new season doesn't have him because he's too busy being, Deadpool's sidekick and stuff. No, they got a bunch of guys. I don't know too many of their names, but it's just really it's on HBO. If anyone has that out there. That little station.
I like HBO. The soundtrack.
Yeah.
Literally all I know about Silicon Valley is that I'm a big fan of the rapper Danny Brown.
Yeah.
And Danny Brown has a song called Kool-Aid on the Silicon Valley soundtrack.
Yes, he does. I think that's the song that they play at like the end of the episodes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's cool. Anyway, continue.
It's about let me explain this correctly. It's about a guy. He's a programmer, very socially awkward as programmers are, and he forms this little business, I guess, off an algorithm he created. That's like streaming like songs like really quick, like. But then his company gets bought by a Facebook-esque company, and he tries to sabotage it because they're doing stuff he doesn't like. So he tries to sabotage it from within with him and the work. Cause
it's a comedy, right?
Yeah, it's a comedy. Really just super fun. It's like a half-hour show, so you don't have to invest too much time into it. It's on its 3rd or 4th season now. If you like, if you're remotely interested in like tech companies and startups, like stuff like that, just really interesting and they use like semi-technical terms that are like real and stuff too, semi-realistic. But, really good, TJ Miller, he was in it, and he played, like, he just had the guy, he got a lot of money quick off of an investment or something like that, and now he's just, like, an incubator, and, he just lets people, like, live it as a house, and, like, people that are, like, starting tech stuff, and if they make, he gets a percentage if they make any money off of
That's
their,
cool.
like, invention or app or whatever.
That's pretty dope.
So yeah, and there's like a lot of hijinks ensue, and there's like they're all doing drugs, and it's California, so they're going crazy. Really funny. Really, you need to. It would totally be up your alley.
It's definitely a show that I feel like I would like.
Yeah.
I just gotta make time. There's so many shows I gotta watch. Maybe after I finish The Good Doctor. But yeah, no, and then...
What's your last one?
Yeah, so,
right?
My last one is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is, without a doubt, my favorite TV show of all time. If you haven't watched Breaking Bad, I don't know what you've been doing with your life. Apparently, if you watch television,
yeah,
odds are that you've heard of Breaking Bad being listed among one of the greatest TV shows of all time. If you don't know about it, essentially, it's about a father who is a high school science teacher who finds out that he has cancer, and
chemistry teacher.
What did I say?
Science.
Oh yeah,
Well,
specifically
specifically
a chemistry teacher.
It makes sense in the context.
Yes.
It would be, yeah.
And he teams up with an old student of his, and they make meth and then sell meth.
Well, even before that, he gets cancer.
Yeah.
And he only has a certain amount of time to live, and he realizes his medical bills and all that stuff ain't gonna pay. So
yeah.
He doesn't have much of a choice. It's leave his family in debt, which his son is he's
got cerebral palsy.
Yeah. And so that's already like
he has a new baby,
and he has a new and his wife is pregnant
at the beginning of the series. Yeah, she's pregnant.
She's pregnant, so he has to figure out a way to get rich quick.
Yeah,
before dying. At least leave his family
with money. Yeah, and it starts out at it's really heartfelt, and he's really just trying to do what's best for his family. And then as the show goes on, he kind of gets a bit greedy, and he becomes like a kingpin, and he almost becomes into a villain himself. And that's really where the show is great. I feel like we
could do a whole episode about
Breaking Bad. We really could.
We probably should, eventually.
There's so many little inside references. And
first of all, Bryan Cranston.
Yes, we should talk about Bryan Cranston. He plays the main character, Walter White, and
probably one of my favorite characters of all time.
He is such a dynamic character.
Right? Like,
he is incredibly good.
Even with the supporting cast, like his wife, she was great. His son, a great actor. Like they were all like super. Saul.
Yeah.
He's great. Jesse Pinkman.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, Aaron Paul. He's just great.
Yeah, I don't think that I can really say anything that would do this show justice of just how good it is.
Yeah, and I think, I hope people have, like, anyone that has not watched Breaking Bad, go watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, please watch it.
Watch Firefly first.
Very similar to the way you described Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first season of Breaking Bad is a bit slow. It really builds up the characters and sets the stage for this much larger, grander story.
Because I was hooked.
Yeah.
Pretty much from Ep 1. Like, I was pretty hooked. Like,
okay.
I could... I agree, it does start off slow, but that's especially because how they open the show with like foreshadowing, like what's gonna happen towards like the end of the season. So at the beginning of the episode, you'll see something that's like, what's going on? I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
And then
it backtracks.
Then at the end of the season, you see the full picture, you know, that the puzzles.
And season 2 is very similar to that too. A lot of the episodes from season 2 start with this like black and white imagery of like a pool and like debris and a stuffed animal rabbit, and it's really weird, but it makes sense.
It's like they almost like they show you what's happening, but you're like, how? Like he was at this point. How does it get to that point?
Yeah.
Like, how does that become that? And you see it, and it just makes it so much stronger because just the acting, it really just top notch writing and acting all the way.
Like I said, words cannot describe how good this show is. The villains are fantastic.
Yes,
the characters are good and very dynamic and fleshed out.
Character?
In Breaking Bad, it's gotta be Walter White.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good. Jesse Pinkman is fantastic. Yeah. His wife, you love her, you hate her. It's
you love her and hate her. And love her
Hank and Marie, and just the dynamic. Everybody's so good. What's his face? The chicken guy. Gus. Gus Fring, one of the greatest villains in television history.
Really, yeah.
He's so good.
Solid, super solid.
Yeah.
Even, like, Tuco.
Tuco Tuco Salamanca.
Yeah, like,
fantastic villain.
Dude. That whole, what was that, like, the second season, that whole arc where he was dealing with him.
Yeah.
How that happened. Amazing.
Well, with Tuco, yeah.
Yeah, like, some of the best television you can really get.
Yeah, cannot praise this show enough.
I think
I believe it's still on.
Like, you can't go anywhere without someone. You can't say TV without someone mentioning Breaking Bad.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I believe it's still on Netflix. I don't think they've taken it off.
I don't think they'll ever take that off.
Please
it's
don't.
Such a people are still like watching, getting into it. I love seeing new people get into that. You know, who cares if it's been over for a while? Like,
it's fantastic.
Get into it when you get into it.
So, yeah, that pretty much concludes our list. Just to rehash, Mike, you want to read back your list of shows?
Absolutely. What did I start off with? I think I started off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
And then I went into Agents of X-Files.
Agents of X-Files?
Yeah, I went X-Files, then I went Monk, Silicon Valley, and...
You ended with Silicon Valley.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
That was it, right?
X-Files, Monk, Silicon Valley, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Firefly.
And Firefly, yes. And for me, it was Black Sails, Dollhouse, Doctor Who, Twilight Zone, and Breaking Bad. Obviously,
who had the better list? Let us know.
it was obviously me. Yes. Hashtag Team Mike. Hashtag Team Brian.
Team Brian.
Yeah, that about does it for this episode. Guys, please let us know who you thought had the better list. Please tell me, Brian, how could you leave off The Office? I love The Office, and I think we might have to do a top 5 TV comedies or something like that.
There's definitely more to explore. I mean, whatever you guys want to talk about.
We definitely have to revisit this topic.
Let us know
there's
down below.
There's so many more TV shows you guys need to be watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what I was joking, what was it, Monday Night Raw? I was joking with you before.
Dude, I love me some wrestling. WrestleMania is right around the corner!
Yeah, super excited.
Buddy. Yeah, that about does it. So, yeah, please, if you're listening on iTunes, leave a 5-star rating. Yes,
nothing but 5 stars, because best for the best, right?
Absolutely. Yes. And thank you guys so very much for for watching. We see our viewer count rising every week.
Yeah, really, we appreciate it. I mean, for such a small little show, we have just us hanging out with you guys.
We hit almost 300 views.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In such a small time. I mean, I guess other people might scoff at that, but we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you like the show, feel free to share it or talk about us wherever.
Let us know. We're on Instagram. Yeah. We're on Facebook.
And
our Facebook
Twitter.
Page is doing great right now.
Yeah, Facebook page is launched. So yeah,
definitely drop us a line there. Let us know topics, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. We want your input.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that'll be it from us. You guys have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, from us at Geeklirious headquarters.
HQ. Live from the studio in Burbank, California. It is Geeklirious. Yes. Thank you guys very much. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Roll the outro.
Ta-ta.